just so we don't lose any of our work, and then we'll just move to the next piece, which is this guy right here. So again, into isolation mode, Alt Q, trash the symmetry. For this, we might want to cut it into a couple different pieces. Let's put the unwrap on first. And I think I'm just going to cut off the inside and we'll do it in 2 pieces. So let's drop into edge again. I'm just going to use point-to-point seam here, I think. And let's maybe cut it right on this edge loop here. So I'm just going to follow that edge all the way around to the corner, go across to the side. And right back up to the top. Right across. So all the way around the outline, and I might try to keep the sides attached to the outside of it, so I'm just going to split the corners. So we'll just click on the vert at the top, one at the bottom. Same thing on this side, just split it. Move to the top and we'll just split these corners just to make sure we don't have a problem when we try to unfold it. So we'll go out like that, go around to the other side, do the same thing. All right, and just grab face, grab one on the inside, expand it. We'll use pelt on this, so let's just pelt it, pull it out, move to the other side, grab a face, expand it, pelt that. And I think that should work fine, so let's put the checker pattern on again so we can check it. Hit F2. Right, get rid of that background, turn by element on, and just pull our pieces out. I'm just going to rotate them again so they're sort of straight. And we might have to make a few more little breaks in here to get it completely flat, but we'll see how it goes. So let's just open up the relax tool, crank our mount up, change our angles again, and just relax it. Take a look. And that's probably good enough. I don't think we really need to do anything else. If you want to, you can actually stitch them back together, but I think I'll just leave them separated. So we'll close that, just scale them down a little bit. And again, just shove them somewhere else besides the 0 to 1 box. And exit. And that looks good. All right, so a few more pieces to go and we'll be done with the legs. Let's just keep going. We'll start with this pin piece here. Trash for symmetry again. This is pretty simple, so we'll just use cylindrical mapping on it. So I'm just going to drop into edge. Maybe grab it right here. And right there. Do a loop. Convert to a seam. And then we'll just split it down one of the vertical edges. Same as before. And then just grab the end caps. Planar map those. And cylindrical map the center. So pretty easy. And we'll just put the checker on, hit F2, exit isolation mode. Just want to check where my seam is. And it's kind of underneath. So I think I'll just leave it there for now. Let's open up the other window and we'll just flatten it out. And then if we have to change it, we can. All right, so pull it over there, pull the caps out. Let's undo that. Just make sure you have element turned on again. There we go. And just quickly give it a relax. All right, do both these at the same time. For this one, I'm just going to try to relax it. And sometimes you can do that. Sometimes you don't have to actually scale it. And that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to just use relax instead of the scale and then the relax. All right, so let's rescale the elements. And I'm just going to stitch the ends back on. So we'll change our mode to edge, turn off by element. So I'm just going to zoom in here and just grab a center edge. Right click, stitch selected. Go down to the bottom, just grab an edge and stitch. All right, just to keep everything together. And then we'll just grab our chunk, scale it down slightly, move it down here. And that takes care of that one. And I think the seam will be probably hidden enough. If you want to, you can just give it a little bit of a rotation Just make sure you recenter your pivot first. Just turn it just to make sure no one's going to see it, but it's pretty well hidden. So a couple more pieces left. Let's grab the next one, which is the little bushing detail, and we'll dump the symmetry, isolation mode, chuck the unwrap on, and same deal with this. I'm just basically going to cut the inside of this, fold out the outside off, and use the planar wrap on both caps. So let's just grab an edge right here on the inside, on both sides, holding control. Loop those, convert to seams, do the same thing on the outside, just grab one of these guys and these guys, and then just give it a split. So we'll just do it on the inside anywhere because you're really not going to be able to see that because the rod goes through. So just grab any random one and cut it, and we'll just do one underneath like that. And then back to face, grab one on the inside, expand it, cylindrical map it. Same with the outside. So we'll just do the same thing with the outside, expand your selection, planar map it, and do the same thing on the back. All right, chuck the checker on again, open up the editor, get rid of that background, turn on by element, and just relax it quickly. So tools, relax. Grab these guys, and we'll try it on these ones. All right, that looks pretty good, so I don't think we need to scale it. So we'll just rescale everything. And we might be able to stitch the outside back on. So let's just grab an edge here somewhere. And I'm just going to stitch selected. Grab one down below, stitch selected. And we'll just leave the inside of the hole separate. Scale everything down uniformly. Drop it somewhere. And that's it. We're just checking my seam again. And it's underneath. So I think I'll just leave it where it is, and we'll move up to the last piece here, which are these guys. So let's dump the symmetry. This one again has a turbo smooth applied, so let's go into isolation mode. Lower our iterations to 1, untick isoline display, and we'll convert it to poly. And for this, I think I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces, and then we'll try to stitch it back together. It's going to be a little tricky because of the rounded top, so that's probably the best bet. All right, so unwrap again. Just on edge, I'm going to cut off the bottom like we did before. So just grab a corner edge, holding control on all 4 sides, and do a loop. All right, just make sure it actually went. It doesn't look like it did. And I have a little bit of weirdness here with my mesh for some reason. So we might need to fix this first. I'm just going to see what's going on down here. All right, and I don't know what the hell has caused this, but we could fix it. We might be able to leave it. It doesn't look like it's really actually distorting anything, so just for the sake of speed, I'm going to actually leave it. If you wanted to, you could connect these up and just straighten everything else so these loops actually connect to these ones and it's nice and straight, and then just remove any bent ones. But again, for the speed, I'm just going to leave it and we'll see how it turns out. So I'm just going to actually manually cut this across just to connect these two, holding control, and then we'll cut it into a seam. And let's maybe loop on the outside as well, so we'll just grab an edge on the corners. Both sides, loop those. They should go all the way around, convert those to a seam, and I think I'll just do it like that, so we'll leave it in 4 pieces. If you wanted to, you could split it across the top where that green edge is, and then do it in an extra piece, but this should work fine. So we'll just go to face, grab it on the bottom, expand it, planar map it, grab it on the side, expand it, planar map that. Same with this side. And then for the top, we'll just expand it, and I'm just going to pelt this. All right, stretch it out. And I think that should work, so let's just put our checker pattern on. And we'll just test it out here. So I'm just going to move this over so I can kind of keep an eye on it. Drag this over here. There's the bottom, and there's the 2 sides. So again, I'm just going to quickly rotate them. And open up relax. And we'll just start relaxing them. So we'll do the 2 sides first, then the bottom, and then the long strip piece. which might give us a bit of a problem. Let's try maybe edge angles on this one. All right, maybe stop it there. I'm just going to rotate it again. And let's try face angles again. See if that helps. All right, that looks pretty good. So we'll just close that. Let's rescale our pieces. And again, if you don't have the rescale options, just do it manually. All right, so for this, I'm just going to maybe see if I can stitch it back together. So let's maybe rotate this vertically. Going to turn off by element, turn on edge, and I'm just going to see if I can stitch this to the sides. So let's just grab a couple edges here. All right, so I'm just going to grab all these vertical edges here, and I'm going to stop right at the corner down here at this loop, and I'm going to stop right at the top where it starts to curve into that top piece. And we'll just right click and stitch selected. And I'll do the same thing on this side. There we go, stitch selected. And for the bottom, let's maybe just stitch that right on here. So just gonna grab this one, that one, and this one. I'm gonna stop right here at the support edge loop and then just stitch selected. There we go, all back together. Let's do one more relax on it just to make sure it's as good as we can get it. That looks good. I don't think we have any distortion. So again, we'll just do a little bit of a uniform scale on it, take it down so it's a little more manageable, and just shove it up here somewhere. All right, close up the rollout. We'll apply another turbo smooth to this. Again, one iteration, no isoline display. Just check in, make sure everything looks good. That's fine, so we'll just exit. Take a look. And I think we're good to go. So there's one leg done. Took quite a while, but that's one of the more complex parts. And we'll get 2 for 1 because we can just copy this over to the other leg. So let's save. So let's just maybe copy it over right now. Let's just grab all our pieces. So the whole leg, and let's just do a group. So group, and we'll just call this leg, or whatever you like. Say okay to that, and we'll just copy it over to the other side. So I'm just going to right click on hide all. And let's maybe go into the hierarchy tab here with the group selected. Before we do that though, let's go up here and click on move and just make sure our reference coordinate system is set to view instead of local. So just switch it back, then turn on effect pivot only. And we're just going to snap our pivot point over to the center again so it lines up with the origin. So you can either right click on the move tool and 0 the X spinner, or you can do it down here, just right click the spinner. Okay, snap it over to the center, then turn this off. And then we'll just use mirror to copy the leg over. So just mirror, do it on the X-axis, do a copy, and say okay. And we'll just take a quick look and make sure everything lined up correctly. It should. All right, so there's our 2 front legs mapped. In the next part, we'll be starting to work on the back stuff, and we'll just work our way up until we get to the very top. So let's just do another save now that we've copied it over.